That's making it in.
Hey everybody, we are Simply Rambling. I'm in my hat era, and we have a few D&D related topics to discuss.
Number one.
Jelking.
Jelking in your shorts.
Sorry, that was something stupid from earlier, but anyway.
Also making it in.
This is the intro.
Oh, Lord.
Kill me.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, no, 100%. No, we're going, dude. They're right there. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for tuning into our shameful display.
I think that you should give your players a home base.
We're also in our smooth segue era. But okay, interesting point. And as someone who's failed to do this so far, I think maybe I need a few pointers too, so go on.
Okay. Give them a home base.
Okay.
I made a short about this.
Yes.
But I want to talk about it more. I'm going to put up a concise video where you'll be there.
Yeah,
and you should know
there.
this too.
Yeah.
Give your players a home base.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons why. Number one.
Name 3.
I will.
Okay, starting with number 1.
Not with number 1.
Wait, can we start with number 2?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So if number 1... Okay, so number 2.
Yeah.
It lets your characters RP a lot of things that most games will never see. Such as, how would they decorate their room, for instance, for example, maybe.
Home decoration is a huge part of video games in general and games, so I can see how people would get way into that, yeah.
How do your players act when they're not on? You know what I mean? When they're safe. Because if you're out in the field, even if you're at a tavern half the time, we're talking about like, are we doing watches tonight? Who's on watch or whatever? So how do they act when they're safe?
Depends on how many felonies your characters have committed, but
True.
Yeah, totally.
How many, rogues, hideouts have they pissed off and have sent assassins after them?
Exactly, and that can vary from 0 to very many. So yeah.
Okay,
100%.
so a lot of unique RP things. What do they do when they're safe? What do they make their room look like?
Yeah.
Etc. What sort of household chores do they do? Do they wear a cute little apron when they cook and dance to music in the kitchen while washing dishes?
Is there a bouncy castle in the living room?
Castle? But it gives you a place to be safe, make plans, host allies, like Boblin the Goblin. You can bring him home now instead of like putting him in danger's way all the time. You can come home and Boblin the Goblin's done some art on the walls in crayon.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. It gives you a place to put your rare things, your heavy things, your trophies, all of those beheaded heads that are in your bag of holding that you forgot about.
Yeah, no, we know you have some, so don't pretend you don't.
Yeah. It gives you a place where you can leave all your things, you can customize it, you can make plans, host allies, you can tell people to meet you there, you can receive mail there, so that not everybody in your entire world has to have a message all the time.
Yeah, true.
Or, I guess, sending. But it gives you so many different advantages in the RP realm. That's point number 2.
Okay, so now point number 2.
We did that. Point number 3 is imagine the threat that you can dangle over their heads at all times. Well, actually, no, I don't recommend doing it at all times. Every now and again, you can pull it out. Or one time, I take it back. Rewind so that you didn't see that, and then skip forward 25 seconds. So now you're seeing this. One time, the threat that you give them by putting all of those things that they've had be a place of safety and comfort, and all of their friends and important things that are there. One singular time, no more, threaten it. And see how they panic and they squirm. Everybody, like, you can kill Boblin the Goblin.
Yeah.
That's bad, right?
Yeah.
But everything that for the last 85 sessions, probably 2 years with how many sessions we've missed in the last few months.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is now being threatened by the big bad evil guy. That's fuel, that's power, that's emotion.
That's interesting. I feel like a lot of I've seen a lot of media like that's like the beginning of your Act 3 shit, is when like it's like, okay, you sort of introduce your heroes and you do some character development and stuff like that, and then like there's the ramping stakes of like your sort of second act, but then I feel like there's always kind of a moment where there's like a lot of the times this is exemplified by what you would call like the fall of the main character, like where everything is kind of taken from them, or maybe their friends think they betrayed them, or just like whatever. Like there's this sort of descent, right? And I think a lot of the time that is exemplified by like a home or something very comfortable being destroyed, because it's like, you can no longer run from this conflict. Like the conflict becomes from like, we're here and it's there, so we get to go there and try to fix it. It's like
come home. It's become personal. They will find you. They will kill Boblin the Goblin.
Yeah, Boblin the Goblin is nuts.
Nice. I get it.
But yeah, so all I'm saying is like that's a good thing to do. Also, like later for a few reasons. One, because it gives them time to build up all that stuff, because it's like giving them a home base and immediately destroying it has like no stakes.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, dude, I didn't even wipe my fucking feet in that place yet. So it builds it, but then also, like you say, it brings the danger home to them.
Yeah.
And makes the stakes that much more like there's no running from this. Like we're in it now. We're in the Fire Nation. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's just, I feel like it's really also important to helping them explore certain portions of your game as well, because if you've got like...
And themselves.
Yeah, absolutely themselves. And each other.
Sometimes. Yasha? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of that.
But like if you've got cool city that they really enjoyed the most out of any city, but it's like not particularly relevant to the plot, or like is kind of far away, and like do we go home? It takes 8 days to travel there by horseback. But like, my fucking long lost sister is on the other end of the world. Like, you're not going to go back and forth over and over again. So giving them a place where they can get back and forth, in my opinion, let them teleport there.
Yeah, I find that's typically, again, that's also kind of something that comes with later. Like often you have like a magical person in the party who finally learns how to do that. Yeah. And if not, you can kind of gift them the means to do that. Yep. It's not something you want to give them right away, but again, the home base is, I think, a lot of the time something you give them like close to like halfway through the game or later. Yeah. Because they kind of earn that shit at that point. Yeah. And at that point, they should have some sort of means of teleportation. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense.
But if they like being in this place, it's the coolest city, but it's not where they're spending most of their time getting actual shit done in the campaign. It's such a shame to lose that, and to also not get the chance to expand as much as you want in this city that assumably you also enjoy. They will know their neighbors. They will have NPCs at the local tavern that they really enjoy. It gives you so much more time to build around that in a place that they really enjoy, versus... well, now we're spending one night in this city, and like, here's the gist of it because you're passing through. So here's what you see, and then they leave, never to be seen again or whatever, because they got other stuff. They're on a journey. But if they can keep coming back to this city, you can keep building on it, and it lets you do so much more for your world and that city in the place that they enjoy, than if you were to just be making camp every single night.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's even been reflected in our game a little bit. Like, I haven't successfully given you guys a home base. Realistically, like, we're also not as far into the campaign as I'd kind of like to be with the amount of time we've spent, but that's also, like, that's just circumstances. Like, that shit happens.
I do think, though, it's important to have a while where you're dusty and gritty and on the road, so that having a home feels more impactful and more important.
100%, yeah.
But that's not to say you can't get a home base early, but you can't teleport there because you're level 3. But then like, by level like 6, now you've got this thing that lets you get in and out of there really fast. And so now it's more important, and you've had enough time as well on the road. You're like, back to home. Like, now what do we do with it? Kind of thing. Like, now let's customize it. Now let's spend time making this our place.
Well, it's just like in our played experience so far. It's kind of exemplifying your points with like the building on top of that too, because also you guys having left the area you guys started in and have come back to it and seeing how it's developed and how your previous choices also affected that place is also so huge. Like they had met a blacksmith that they really liked, who wasn't really the main blacksmith in town, but he was objectively the best one. And then after defeating the best one was actually part of the big bad's plan, and so after he kind of got kicked out of town, now all of a sudden this other blacksmith is getting a lot more business, and so that had like an interesting effect as well, and they got to see that play out, as well as like one of the local taverns, they had made friends with the owner of that tavern, and seeing how like your guys is sort of defending them and charity towards them has also affected them into the future as well. Like it's been rewarding for me to make and also show you guys, but I feel like you've had a positive reaction also to be like, oh cool, like this has happened. Like,
and that's another thing that is so like improved by this as well. Like because if you continue to travel all the time everywhere you go, you will only get like, this is a glimpse of this place in a certain time. But if you continue to come back to the same place over and over again, especially if you know people there like we do, then you get to really see how all the stuff you're doing impacts the world. But if you go to this city, even if maybe they're talking about something that happened there, you don't know what it was like before, you don't know those people, like why that's personally such a big deal to them.
Yeah.
So seeing the same place over and over again lets you really explore like how your world is impacted by the things you're doing, how the people there are quote unquote real people and have like lives that are actively moving pieces and that sort of thing. So that is all to say, it's very helpful, impactful, fun, cool to give your players a home base.
Yeah. Well, did you do point number 1 yet?
Yep.
I missed that part. But anyway, yeah, no, you're totally right. It's you're making me want to give you guys one.
You should.
I won't.
Okay.
No, I mean, like I said, it's just like it's something I've kind of intended to do, but it's also like we haven't progressed to the point where I've wanted to implement it yet, so we'll just have to get there.
The thing that got me actually started thinking about that is very, very early, like into me DMing.
Yeah.
My first actually significant long-term game. I was looking for like what are big, impactful rewards that aren't just like here's $1 million.
Yeah.
Or here's
1 million swords.
plus 15 whatever.
Yeah.
It's like what are some rewards? And it does say in the 5e DM's guide, consider giving them like a house if they've done a city a great service. Like now they have property.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, that would do good for this. Oh yeah, that's actually really smart. And then like it just kept snowballing. And now I'm so actually passionate about why people need a home base for a campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not to say necessarily that every single campaign, it's a good thing. Because there are some campaigns where you need to be nomadic. That's fine, that's the point.
Sometimes the comfort of a home isn't the point because maybe it's a little nitty gritty or grimdark.
Like if we're talking, if they had like a home base that they could teleport to in the Lord of the Rings, it does defeat some of the purpose, admittedly.
A lot of it, yeah.
But yet, there's so many good stories that they do kind of have a hub. And like even in like video games and stuff like
That's often the case, yeah.
There's so many games where you have a hub, even if that's like a funny little interactive menu in like the pause menu where you can go in and look at your achievements and customize your character and stuff like that. There's a place where you can do that and people like that, and it's you know, it's something to show off what you've done, change your stuff, like do a little bit of you time, you know? A lot of games also have like a real hub, for instance, but like even just in that minor way, there's always some kind of hub that you can interact with, see your achievements, do whatever,
Do
right?
all that stuff, yeah.
And most games would benefit from having a hub in D&D.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. That does make a lot of sense. Makes me excited to maybe actually do that for you guys eventually.
Right?
One of these days.
It's really fun because I've come up with a few ideas as well. Spoiler alert. But it's really fun thinking about just like what you can do with them and like how to also make it sort of a unique
New York.
New York, red leather, leather, leather.
Another one smart
fart smeller. I forgot exactly where I was going, but
Yeah.
it's pretty fun. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
The other thing we had wanted to discuss is making your homebrew monsters.
That's news to me. Oh wait, real quick.
Okay, yeah.
On the short that I made talking about this, but in 35 seconds, somebody left a comment saying like that's what they really like about their like pirate campaigns, and I was like, you're so fucking right. You're so fucking right.
Go off.
Because like in a pirate campaign, you're on a ship, and that is your home base. You're constantly traveling with it. That is your place of safety, and it's a little less safe. But that's also another interesting part.
It's
about
also
it,
thankfully equipped
is
with cannons, so
yeah.
you
It's
got a little give and take there.
Unsafe.
Yeah.
So all like, despite it being your place of safety and being mobile, which is cool, it is constantly also under threat.
Yeah.
But it's true that pirate campaigns have that built in, and that's kind of what makes them cool.
Fair enough. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, now we're talking about
Now
homebrewing
we're
monsters.
into the monster thing.
Okay.
Homebrewing monsters is probably one of my favorite things to do in all of the creative process of D&D.
Yeah.
Probably aside from characters, but what are monsters if not
characters that are meant to be killed.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, just like a lot of my characters.
Just like Arlen.
It is true though. He was built to die.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
He was built at
Yeah.
fucking 750,000 years old, decrepit motherfucker. But that's what we loved about him.
Yeah.
We loved him so much because it was temporary.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that. But
And your character got the closest to it.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
we should. Okay, that's maybe not on this episode, but maybe another rambling if you want to be on cam. We should discuss the Murdoch Arlen
I think
relationship.
Love
that
triangle.
would be a good idea.
Yeah, but we'll get there eventually. Just stay tuned.
Yeah.
But monsters, yeah, characters you need to kill. No, you've encountered some of my homebrew monsters and such. Like, what did you kind of think about those? Like, what was your player interaction with them?
I think.
Which
first
one
off-
sticks out to you the most?
Well, I
And
want
also
to
go
say
off with what you were gonna say.
some of the like coolest parts is that it lets you do some really scary shit. Because that's one thing is you and I think both really like making scary monsters.
Yeah,
not just
not nice sprites.
goblin, but different. It'll be like
Goblin, but blue.
you start making some scary shit when
Yeah.
you start homebrewing, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because it is scary. But another thing is there's zero chance of metagaming, because try as hard as you want, if you've read through those books, especially as a DM, you know what things are and vaguely what they can do and how scared you should be. And even if you try super hard not to metagame, you know it in there.
Yeah.
If it's a homebrewed monster and you go in and it's scary as fuck and you don't know what it is, that's way scarier.
Yeah, you don't know the Griffin's AC is fucking 13
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is unknown territory, and you're going to be afraid of the unknown.
Exactly, yeah. One of the ones that keeps coming back is specifically because I also really enjoy the scary, fucked up, spooky body horror creatures, the Cronenberg creatures. In one of our pre-campaign mini-campaigns that unfortunately failed because we tried to have too many people involved, looking at you other DMs, you know it, was I believe you called it the face monster.
Oh, the wide face demon.
Yeah.
That one was fun. That was one of the only things I've actually like drawn as well. So I might even be able to actually send it to you so you can show it up on screen.
I think you have sent it to me.
Maybe it's
just gonna
there.
be on a dead iPhone.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably the one you gave me.
Yeah.
No, it would be older than that.
Okay,
so.
but either way, we'll find a way to put it on screen one way or the other.
Yeah. But it was scary. It was New York. It was unique, New York.
Yeah.
It was red, yellow, leather. It was one smart feller. I can't stop that.
Yeah.
But yeah, scary and unique and interesting and new, and you don't know what you're dealing with. And the further into combat you get, the more you're like, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm trying my best. I don't know how much HP it's got left because it's not a hill giant, an ogre. The things I've read the stat blocks for. Yeah, so that's.
Yeah, so that one basically, the concept behind it was basically it was like a demon. It's sort of an otherworldly being that it existed in this tiny shack on a hill. And it wasn't like it physically could not leave the space no matter how much it tried, and it tried, I assure you. But the sort of problem with it is like it has this gigantic maw and this unending hunger, but there was a portal in its mouth that led to a pocket dimension, and so anything that it ate, it would never consume it. It would go straight into this pocket dimension, and so it was constantly starving, but also as like an otherworldly entity, like it yearned for sustenance, but it didn't die from lack of food or water or anything like that. So it was just basically endlessly tortured. And so this was the thing, is like, they enter the shack because they're like, what the hell is going on in here? And there was a missing person report. This kid had been eaten basically by this thing after venturing into the shack. And but it was just in a pocket dimension, and so they had to find it, so the kid was alive. But yeah, that was a fun one because it's long and gangly, and so in such a short amount of time, it had extra reach, so it was hard for you guys to avoid it. It could climb up on the roof and stuff like that.
Well, and then you can do cool shit like, oh, it eats you, and then like you're gone. You don't even know why because it's not your turn in the order yet. But all of a sudden, all your friends are like, "What do you mean it ate my friend and?" They're gone and they're out of the initiative order. Like, what the fuck are you? That's scary.
Yeah, well, because you weren't like, it wasn't like, oh, now you're in its stomach. What do you do?
Yeah, are you gonna try and get out? You're taking acid damage. That's fine. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But the unique New Yorkness that comes with that, like, they're eaten, they're out of the initiative order, and then everyone around the table is like,
wait, what?
The fuck?
Like, I can just die? Because you're assuming you're dead. Yeah. Like. Because you don't know about the portal or anything like that. So yeah, all of a sudden one person gets eaten, they're just gone, there's nothing to do. And it's like, you guys assume, like, is that an insta-kill? What's happening? You're confused. That is kind of a good point too. I'd only kind of considered that too, just like how badly that would freak out a player, just being like, no, you're not in the initiative anymore. Yeah. No, don't ask.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So you get... I'm going to use the word unique again.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do the thing.
And then you're going to do it again. Yeah.
So I'm not going to.
Yeah. You're going to say...
one of a kind.
Yeah.
That's better.
New Yeek. Yeah, that was one of my first homebrew monsters too. It was actually inspired by a scary story that was told in my hometown, so lose some sleep over that.
Tell it.
It was mostly just there was a small, tiny little shack on the hill, and my friend had at one point thought he had seen like this long, weird arm reaching out from a broken window, trying to grab at the handle on the outside, and that's where I just got the idea of like, oh, there's an entity that's trapped there and it can't leave because it's like, well, it's a door, like you just open it. But it's trying to get out somehow, which is another thing I baked into the encounter as well, because one of you had like hopped out a window and was kind of taking pot shots at it from the inside, and it wasn't going after them. Now, I don't think you guys noticed that because there was also other people inside, and so it was attacking that. But that was something I baked in as actually like part of the encounter, is if you guys fled, it's not like it could chase you either. And then maybe if you would realize that, it would be like, oh, well, let's take some ranged attacks or just fucking burn down the house. I don't know. that also kind of brings me to a point as well, is most of my homebrew monsters have come from inspiration in real life. And a lot of it's just from scary stories I've heard from the town I was from, or scary things I had experienced from the town I was from. But a lot of the best homebrew stuff, like, I feel like if you kind of keep your mind open to these kinds of things, and then try and grab inspiration from anywhere, even if it's not really related to D&D or fantasy related at all, it'll come out with a lot of your best stuff. Yeah. Because limitation is actually helpful for creativity. And so having an idea based on something and therefore limiting you to like the idea of that is actually helpful rather than hindering. The other example I could really think of for stuff that was based on just something I had seen in real life is, again, back in the town I'm from, I was walking, there's like a train tunnel. And so I was walking towards that, and I looked to the left, and like just over like a hill or something like that, I thought I had seen, it was like a silhouetted figure. It looked humanoid and like it was walking, but it had like, it looked like it had like a, like antlers. It looked like it had like a deer skull. And it was just one of those moments where like I look and then I double take and it's not there. And that was, the deer were all over the place in our town. So more than likely what that was just a deer that I had looked, and then it had probably disappeared. But like, since it was just a quick glance, my brain had interpreted it that way. But ever since then, I had like this idea of like, oh, it'd be so cool to have like some sort of weird shadowy figure that sits on the outskirts of town and has like this sort of deer skull. And that was just the aesthetic. Turned into something kind of different that ended up having a cool magical item. But that was what I called the Mantelgeist in D&D, and how it had basically turned out is character, humanoid, clad in like a leather cloak with the deer skull for a head. But what it would do is, I kind of had this idea because, like I said, it was sort of a silhouetted figure. It was very shadowy, so it would kind of reach into, it would see someone using a specific type of weapon, and it would reach into its coat and pull out like a shadow version of that weapon, and so it would always be copying you. And so basically what this monster did was kind of, you've seen like you've heard probably of like the doppelganger encounter, where you encounter a version of your character and now you're fighting yourself.
But stronger.
Yeah, exactly. And so that was kind of my way of sort of doing that.
Yourself, but taller.
And so I was able to copy the players that I was using this monster against in order to try and use sort of their own strategies against them. Now, the cool part was this coat that could replicate weapons. Once they defeated this thing, was turned into a magical item, which one of the characters took. Which was funny because that was the character with guns. So it was a funny relationship between the monster and the character, because the monster sees guns for the first time and starts creating shadowy versions of those because it's like, these are fun. And then the character with guns ends up taking the coat after defeating the monster and having access to all weapons. And then that character left and took the coat with him.
And also, like 70% of the party's gold.
Yeah, I was carrying a lot, wasn't I?
Yeah, no, you had a lot of stuff.
You put us back in the D&D economy like 40 sessions.
But anyway, that's another one of my favorite monsters that I've ever sort of come up with. So using real life inspo wherever it comes from is probably, in my experience, will have you come up with the coolest stuff. Even if it's just, it's like, oh, you only take the aesthetic of it, or you take maybe the functionality of whatever thing you find. You don't have to copy and paste it, but just find little bits to include, and I think it'll lead to the coolest stuff that you're gonna like.
One of the more fun ones that I did to build as well as to play, but I think I especially just enjoyed doing it, was called the Shrike.
Yes, that was a fun
and
one.
this I got by looking at the shrikes that are in the real world. Scary bird. They will catch their prey and basically impale them on sharp branches and stuff like that. And this thing was also technically not demonic, it was devilish, fiendish. But it was a big-ass bird, like probably like 15 feet tall kind of thing, but like a long, like needle-thin beak. And it basically infested this town, and it did also impale most of the citizens that lived there, and it took off their faces and used that needle-thin beak to basically sew it onto itself. So it was this like nasty, fucked up, like body horror bird that had a whole bunch of human faces attached to it. And the faces, also, this is one of the fun things that I was doing with it, were a very versatile tool for it. Because so many, like, the standard of D&D encounters is like, they're full health and full spell slots, it's full health and full abilities, and then you use all your big ones first, and then like you go down on the list of abilities, and whoever kills the other person first, like they don't get the rest of their abilities or whatever. But this thing it had something like 25 faces on it that were like sewn onto the backs of it, and as it lost health, it could basically absorb these faces, and they would like basically crust up and scab over to either replenish its health or, well, basically to replenish its health.
Yeah.
But every time that it did that, its spells or saving throws or resistances or whatever would weaken by faces X a value. So like say it's 3. So at the beginning, it's got like an unbeatable threshold. You cannot resist its save unless you natural 20 basically, because it was like 36 or something like that to save. But then after you do like 20 damage, you're like trying your best to survive against this onslaught of incredibly powerful moves. But then as you do some damage, it starts, like, it doesn't run out of these abilities, but they become weaker and easier to save against. So it had a different like resource threshold than you did versus like also other monsters and stuff. It's not just I use level 3 spell slot. It's like I still have the same abilities, but now that you've done 60 damage and it's used 10 of its faces to restore X damage, it's still full health. It's not weaker, but it's easier to like resist against now.
Yeah, and fight
instead of
effectively.
36 as your saving throw, it's now down to like 16. And then like, oh, you do another 20 damage, and on its turn, it like also it could be killed before restoring itself, because it was like a legendary action, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Or one of the ones that comes back if you roll a 2 or a 1 on a d6. But yeah, so as you go, you're running out of resources, but it's not necessarily getting weaker and running out of resources as well. You're just trying to like outlast it until like you can either kill it in 1 round or /2 rounds, or it's no longer able to like get you with any of those special abilities, because now you're able to beat those rolls. So I thought it was really interesting to switch up how its resources were, and also had fun doing a body horror bird that is based off of one of the most fucked up things in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, it's a real hellbird real actual hellbird that exists.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, that was such a fun encounter too, because you also like not only was it a unique New York,
That's so right. That's right.
a unique creature in general, and how it's used its resources, but it also had tactics, and this is
Oh, I should have mentioned also, by the way, it was able to mimic anything basically that it's heard is the scary part, but it was actually able to like read your mind, use your memories against you, use your fears against you, but being like sort of a mimicking bird as well. The fear is that these are things that it actually has heard. So like it'll do like your loved one screams or something emanating from like one of the faces or whatever, and it kind of controlled. A lot of its abilities were like mental controlling, so it would pit people against their allies and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of the stuff was based on mimicry.
Yeah. Well, and that was kind of the thing too, is also like there was a lot of like it had also manipulated the environment so that a lot of the trees and stuff had like sharp branches and everything, and like you had said, like it had impaled a lot of the townsfolk on them already, which before this thing had showed itself was an excellent set piece to set the stage, because that's just environmental storytelling. You're like, what the fuck happened? Like, because it seems to be something like, at least my first thought was like, oh, did people do this to these people?
Yeah.
But then like the monster's revealed and you see that's its tactic, is like it tries to basically stun you, or get you to stop attacking it so that it can get a hold of you and then impale you onto a tree for it to basically feast upon. Like it was you kind of had like from top to bottom, like it had unique aspects to it, like how it used its thresholds, just character design in the first place, and then also tactics, which tactics is an important thing.
So it basically, obviously, it's like, it's a fiend. It's from the hells. It has no need for gold and shiny things. So it set up these bait. And then if like people wander by this like derelict town and they're like, oh, big ass pile of gold, don't mind if I do. And then it eats them, gobbles them up, puts them on a tree. And then it takes all their valuables, puts it in the pile, becomes that sort of thing. But yeah, so my idea for it was entirely based around like, rather than I hit you for 150 damage, was it's pitting you and your teammates against each other and separating you. So it would pull one person, stick them to a tree, and then use its ability to make the other person start damaging them while their other teammates completely incapacitated, and that sort of thing. And then you start overcoming that as you do damage to it, and you begin to start being able to resist it and stuff like that.
Well, and that was also such a huge rewarding part, is realizing, like, when the moment I was like, oh, frick, I fail, and then you were like, no, you don't. I was like, wait, it changes? Oh my god, like, we have a chance, like, because this is the thing, is like, this was a very, very powerful monster that we were fighting. Obviously, you can tell. Like,
at the beginning, it was obscenely powerful, like, again, it was something like 36 to succeed against its saving throws and stuff like
so
that.
It was just incredible. And so, like, you have this moment where you're kind of losing hope and you're considering fleeing, but it's like, I can't leave my friends behind, blah, blah, blah. But then like this surge of hope comes back, like again, the moment you kind of realize that this thing works a little different, and that, oh, this is a war of attrition and you're farther ahead than you thought. Super, super, super rewarding to experience that as well. And it's like, you can't really do that with everything.
Yeah, that's true.
But the fact that that was such a huge part of what made that encounter memorable as well. So yeah, no, that was a great one. There's more we could lay out, but I feel like we can't just sit here. For ages. Like the fucking lake. The lake was an ordeal.
We fought a lake multiple times.
They fought basically a necrotic lake. That was more of, like, that was less a monster though and more a set piece. But anyway, like, we could talk about all of them forever. But
one thing also I do want to mention is start trying to force your players to flee sometimes. Scare the shit out of them, make them realize they can die, make them remember that they can flee. They don't actually have to face smash every single encounter. They can flee. They should flee sometimes.
They can flee. They can flee.
They can flee. They can flee. Copyright strike. That's Disney. We don't play games with Disney on this channel. Disney Channel.
We already have.
And
we won. You're still watching us, baby.
Shake It Up is next. Actually, that is kind of a good point, because one thing okay, we'll have to go into the lake a little bit because it's actually relevant to what you're saying, though.
I don't want to go to the lake.
So they were in basically this this area that was just the worst. No, it was sort of like the Shadowfell had kind of seeped into this place, and so when it came down to undead, everything ghostly, like all that stuff, this area was infested with that sort of thing.
The gym type was ghost type Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they had sort of... There was another mission while they were there, but what they had realized is that like the lake in this area, when they found it, because it's deep in the woods, was, firstly, it was just black and ooze. It was like tar, and there was just bones in it. But the first time they had encountered it, only one of the characters actually had stumbled upon it. They had kind of gone away from the group a little bit. And what they saw was they were just walking, they see the lake, it's nighttime, like they don't get a clear view of what the hell's going on with it, so it's not clear that it's kind of like oozy and evil yet. But a green fucking dragon, not an adult one, I didn't say it was a young one either, it was like somewhere in between, but landed by the lake and was going to take some water from it. And the lake itself, after it got close enough, grabbed the dragon and started to basically pull it in and attempt to consume it. And despite this dragon's best efforts, the lake fucking ate it. And so this was the thing, is this character sees a dragon, thinks, fuck, 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 I don't want to deal with that, and then sees how the lake works, like it just like lies in wait.
Boot!
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish, basically, and sees this thing get fucking bodied, and then it was very clear to this player, oh, this is way more fucked, because I was scared of that, now I'm more scared of this. And then I had even topped it off with, like, after that whole commotion had happened, they looked at the lake, like, in regards to closest to it, and it saw, like, sort of like a little bit of the lake slowly creeping its way up closer to him, but not close enough to, like, kind of get the jump on him yet. And so he was like, oh, this is actively, like, trying to kill me right now. It's just I'm not as close as the dragon had got, so it didn't have the opportunity. And that made it so you guys took it seriously. Not that the rest of the characters saw it, but obviously one of them did and portrayed exactly how terrible it was. Also, everyone at the table saw, obviously, because that's how it works. But you can... There's ways to instill fear about some sort of big bad or something like that. One of, not the least of which, is the kind of quote-unquote bigger fish method, is show them some method, something scary. Now this thing killed that. Oh God, this is more powerful. And that's what I had used to show that this sort of weird necrotic lake was not to be fucked with. Until later, when they had gotten more powerful and everything like that. But there's other ways to do it. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, remind your players of their mortality sometimes.
Yeah, because it's very easy to forget that you can flee. That's a part of the game. You kind of get lulled into a false sense of security sometimes. That, like, my DM wouldn't put anything in front of us that was insurmountable. Remind them that sometimes you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of my favorite things to reveal as well, was just that whole, like, dragon encounter, and then it tied in later.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause another thing was, like, the lake would, we're talking about the fucking lake. We said we weren't going to talk about the lake.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the lake.
It would basically, like, infect and animate the bones, basically, so it would reanimate things that it's consumed. And so at first we were fighting, like, skeleton this and skeleton that. And then we were like, yo, it ate that dragon. Like, how long until, like, it spits that bad boy back up? Yeah. And it did later on.
Well, that was the thing, is that was the final fight with it, is you guys had actually descended, there was actually a cave that led to under the lake that was the area that they had to get to in order to sort of quote-unquote defeat it, because you couldn't go in from the top, you would die. And so they found their way to, like, the heart of the lake, so to speak. But this is the thing, is detecting, you know, someone close to it, busted out the big guns. And so the final fight with this sort of reanimated lake was, the necrotic lake was it reanimated a fucking dragon, which had its own special like necrotic lake breath weapon and everything like that. So I'd taken parts of the dragon stat block and also stapled in the motif of this sort of necrotic lake and put them together in the stat block. But yeah, so it was kind of a fun foreshadowing thing that you guys had figured out. I wasn't sure if you probably would have, but like there was the chance it would be a surprise that, yeah, it's like, no, it ate the dragon. Now that's part of its arsenal.
Cool kit, yeah.
Exactly. And so it busted it out in the final fight, which just necrotic black ooze dragon was definitely one of my favorite things to make ever. So that's
Also,
that was a close fight too.
yeah, well, because now we're just talking about our own games a lot, but multiple times, like back to back, would just get its laser beam, like acid line attack back.
It kind of functioned like an acid dragon's
Yeah.
thing, but it was necrotic damage because of his lake. But it was basically a line breath weapon.
But if you're a DM, you know about the whole like breath weapon comes back on like a 1 or a 2 or whatever it is out of a D6. And yeah, it like back to back got those and started just like bleh, bleh, bleh. It's like, that's way too strong to be popping off like that. Please have mercy. Yeah, so cool fight, scary fight.
Yeah. I did not intend to have mercy with that fight too. That was one of the ones where sometimes you have to like take a breath as a DM and be like, if I hold back, it's actually going to be kind of a dick move.
Yeah. Because if you hold, I know I've said this before. I'll say it again. You gotta be willing to kill them because it genuinely does take some of the fun out, knowing that everything is bubble wrapped. As long as you have a healthy communication. That's why, like, sometimes at the fights that I'm genuinely like about, I'll be like, just a reminder to everybody. We're all friends. I love playing this game with you. You could die, and that is not personal. And I can't wait to make new characters with you. Have fun.
Yeah, we luckily haven't had that yet. The Shrike absolutely could have been. We had rolled well.
That's the thing, if you don't do some good damage up front to like even the playing field, when you start running out of resources and it hasn't had good effect and it's still 36 to save, you're cooked. Better start running or whatever. Yeah,
and the thing about this lake final fight too is it basically had the infinite ability to summon lots and lots of ads. And so like you guys also had to, there was this simultaneous like
dragging us around and throwing us around with this little tentacles.
Dragging
and
us.
stuff.
That was another thing. It's like, it also like literally had like goop hands that would like, it would try and pull you into the lake where it would start doing necrotic damage to you and right underneath the freaking dragon, so that was such a busy fight. But it was so good. It was
That's
so
the coolest fights though, when you've got all those things on the go. You got some unique New York handmade homebrewed monsters that they don't know what the fuck they're dealing with. You've got dynamic battlefields, you've got secondary win conditions, you got like all those things in play. It's a lot to do, but those are the best.
It's so good, although that's also the kind of the thing, as much as that's great, you can't do those every time.
It's true. You'll exhaust yourself, you'll
exhaust your players. Like it'll actually be scary for like they will, if you start doing that, they'll avoid every encounter. Because that's the thing, is like that stuff's fun when there's this build up and it's like there's stakes, but there's also reward because sometimes it's like you're in that final fight. But it's just like sometimes you just got to kill 4 goblins, man.
Sometimes you got to give them the goblins to smack around so that they can like, oh yeah, I am pretty strong and cool and I've got these new abilities and stuff, rather than every fight you're beating the shit out of them. They've leveled up. It doesn't matter. They're still getting their shit beat. But no, that's still, so you can't do that every time. But when you do effectively culminate a thing into an awesome homebrew boss fight, like there's nothing better. So we've been talking about our own game a lot, but I guess the best way to kind of show this is with examples. You know what I mean? Like, because I think we're gonna end up probably making more concise videos for both my point about give them a house or a home base, and also
your homebrew monsters.
Sort of how to do homebrew monsters to be unique New York and engaging and stuff like that. But I don't know, we're just rambling here, so
100%.
You know what you clicked on.
Yeah, exactly. Future Corey, can we get a unique New York counter?
Unique
New York.
Unique New York. Scary? It was unique New York. It was unique New York.
Yeah.
The unique New Yorkness. I'm gonna use the word unique again.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do the thing.
And then you're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Unique.
New York.
Yeah.
You got some unique New York handmade do homebrew monsters to be unique New York and
Was it a unique New York?
that's so right. Can we can
You know what's funny
Flash
is
that
I've
bad
been
boy
thinking
every
about that
time.
from the beginning. I think we're on 8.
Yeah. So,
Future me will know for sure.
what's the score?
okay, wait, just at a guess. 13.
I'm gonna go with 10.
Okay.
Let's see who's closer. Who wins?
Okay.
Whoever's
Closest without going over?
Yeah, no, just closest. I think just closest. But
I
yeah,
haven't been keeping track, but I thought about it.
What's your guess? What do you think we've done?
I think we're at 8.
okay,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
okay. It feels like more than that to me.
It
But
feels like a
Does
lot.
to me too, but I overestimate everything.
I feel like
Yeah.
I said it 8 times, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
let's
Oh
well,
shit! Right? Yeah, Bill said it a few times too.
well, whoever
Oh, okay.
whoever wins,
Yeah.
put a funny hat on one of us.
Okay.
If I didn't get the hat, I look stupid right now. Can I get a hat anyway? Different. It's win or
Not
lose. a
loser
different
hat, dunce
Yeah.
hat.
No, not
Yeah.
if I win.
Oh
Only
no,
if I
no,
lose.
not if you win.
If I win, it's
But I'll win. So
nice crown or something.
So you're gonna get a dunce cap. This is my dunce cap. But anyway, thanks for sitting and listening
Thanks for
to us.
hanging out.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for chilling with us and talking about D&D and
See
stuff.
you in the next one when we talk about probably something in real life and then probably also some D&D stuff.
Yeah, probably some sort of weird topic like fruit or something like that. I don't know.
I could probably talk for a long time about pineapples.
Or possibility the the one of a kind nature of an East Coast city.
True, true.
We could probably talk about that a lot.
Or I can ask important questions like, would you rather have a gay daughter?
We'll see you next time. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.